Yo, I got a very, very mind blowing revelation today about myself, about my own life. And I have been praying, just asking God why things are, the way they are, why it just seems like the way is just a little rough. And I had a conversation with a sister in Christ yesterday, and I was just venting to her about everything that was, not everything, but some things that were going on, and but how no matter what, I'm looking to the Lord. I'm looking to the Lord for everything. And today, I remember telling her yesterday, I don't even understand why. I don't understand, you know, like just really what's going on. Like, cause when you're trying your best and things are like just rough, solid, like it's hard to break ground. Like when you're in that way, things are so frustrating and confusing. So God told me today, you know, I was I was in the word, and God said to me, a test is not only a situation, it's a season. And I was like, Lord, why are you telling me that? I'm like, what? And then he said, Ecclesiastes 3. So I go to Ecclesiastes 3, and it says, a time to plant and a time to harvest. That's where I got stuck. And I'm like, I'm praying for the harvest, but right now, I'm planting. And then I saw a field. When you're planting, nothing is there. You're planting. It's just a open dirt field, right? And then I heard wilderness. But before I heard wilderness, I looked up testing. It just was coming to me, a time of testing. Because that's when you're planting, you're rooted in faith at that point, because you don't know when God gonna bring the harvest, but you're planting anyway by faith. And it's like I Google testing, and I'm like, okay, I look at testing for spiritual growth. This never occurred to me before. And then I heard 40 years wilderness. I didn't hear it like I would like God was sentencing me to 40 years. I'm like, Lord, why are you telling me this? So I look up wilderness. I'm like, I don't understand. And yesterday in the conversation when I was talking to her, I said, I don't understand why things are the way they are. And then I said, maybe God is testing my faith. That came out of my mouth. I said, He's testing my faith and growing it, you know. But I heard wilderness, and in the wilderness, God allows you to go without, because it strengthens your trust, your faith in Him. It creates a need for Him. Y'all, I can't even tell y'all how many doors I done knocked on and none of them opened. But last year, a door opened up a little bit, and then it closed right away. And I was like, Lord, why? I'm separated, I'm isolated, I'm set apart. And I said, Lord, I'm tired of late fees. I'm tired of payment arrangements. I'm tired of missed payments, you know? And then he showed me manna. And he said, for you to get tired of my provision is pride. You're tired of my manna. This is why it's so important for us to know what season we in. This season, I ain't even gonna hold you. It hurt. It hurt because the only door that's open is the portal of prayer between me and the Father. That's the only one that's open. The point of the wilderness is to grow your faith in God, to bring you closer to Him. But also in the wilderness, it's hurtful because nothing goes your way. Nothing. You're praying and you're praying and you're praying. But this is the will of the Lord right now. And I know it ain't just me. That's why I'm sharing. And I've given myself to the Lord as a living sacrifice. So to be in the wilderness, it hurts a little when you feel like Lord, I've given my life to you though. And, you don't understand everything. I can't see nothing right now. All I see is that open dirt field and I'm planting, right? That's all I see right now. But last night I had a dream and it was a good dream. And I was talking to the Lord about that dream. And He said, everything is in the promised land. So I gotta get to the promise. I gotta get to the promised land. I gotta pass this time of testing. But I'm honored because I can feel God like right here. I can feel Him so close to me. Like can't nothing touch me. I feel so protected. God is bringing me to know Him. He is doing a work in me for the promised land, you know, and I can't see everything that's there, but He's been showing me little glimpses of it in my dreams. I've been seeing, beautiful things. But right now, I'm in the wilderness and I can't give up. I have to let God do what He's doing. And I got to trust. I got to let Him complete the development. So I can get to the promised land.